Alright guys, so this is a video I've wanted to make for some time now. As a content creator here on YouTube, I'm about 377 videos deep into the whole Call of Duty commentary thing. And there's always been one thought that sits in the back of my head through reading comments on various different videos, and that is the fact that the Call of Duty community is absolutely brain dead. I'd go as far as to say the Call of Duty community is one of, if not the most brain dead community in all of gaming. Now this video was inspired by the video I did about Modern Warfare 2019 being the worst game in the series. That is the video titled The Downfall of Call of Duty Multiplayer. The secondary inspirations for this video was also from my Black Ops 6 Won't Save Call of Duty video, and in that video I talked about how Black Ops 6 could be the greatest Call of Duty game to ever grace this earth from a design perspective, but if Activision and Microsoft put their greasy SBMM or EOMM algorithms into the game, it's gonna ruin the entire experience. And of course, both of these videos garnered mixed receptions from people. We had some people that were agreeing with me, and we also had some people that disagreed with me. And of course, I expect this as a content creator because my opinion is just that. It's an opinion. And quite frankly, I've never been the type to stray away from polite discourse regarding the game. What might be the worst game to me could be the best game to you. But apparently Call of Duty fanboys don't have the intellectual ability to have a conversation without getting overly emotional regarding the games that they like, and always use the exact same arguments for everything. The first example I'll use is the design of Modern Warfare 2019. As a fast player, this game was the polar opposite of what I like in a Call of Duty title. It appealed way too much to the slow player. This was explained in greater detail, of course, in the video essay on the game. You guys can check that out. That will be the card in today's video. Can you take a guess at what the most common response was from New Age COD fans when I brought this up about Modern Warfare 2019? I'm gonna give you a guess. Skill. Oh, right. Skill issue. Of course. Oh, yes. Skill issue. Like, there's no possible way that I just don't like being forced to play like an absolute scrub, pre-aiming angles and not moving. That's totally a skill issue. The point I'm trying to make here is that plenty of people, including myself, still maintained high stats on a game like Modern Warfare 2019. We adapted to the bad design decisions. We adapted by playing slower. The point is, this style of play is not fun. I don't want to be forced to play like a bitch to have any sort of success in the game. Do you guys see where I'm coming from? It makes the game monotonous and a chore to play. This has literally nothing to do with skill at all. But of course, protected bracket SBMM kids will use this easy cop-out to discount what you're saying. It's aggravating and ridiculous to tell someone who's been playing this series for 14 motherfucking years that their valid complaints about the game come down to just being bad. The ironic part about the whole thing, though, is that the ones that are saying skill issue don't even realize that the best pro player to ever grace the Call of Duty scene, being Scump, actually said this was the worst Call of Duty game ever from a public match perspective. He said this was the worst Call of Duty pubs experience ever. So do with that information what you will. Don't take it from me. Don't take it from the guy that yells at you, as everybody likes to say, not knowing that I have ADHD and I go off the rails all the time. But anyways, don't take it from me. Take it from one of the most decorated Call of Duty pros that says this game was a big pile of dog shit. Now, I'm not going to get too far into that because, like I said, this is just my opinion and I don't want to make this a Modern Warfare 2019 rant video. With that being said, though, let's get to the second argument I hear all of the time from the absolute brain-dead Call of Duty community, that being the skill-based matchmaking / EOMM argument that I like to use pertaining to high-skilled players. From my side, my argument is the high-skilled players don't like skill-based matchmaking because we're stuck playing sweats of our own caliber while carrying shitters. I don't know how many times I have to explain this, but it wouldn't even be so bad if the skill-based matchmaking was equal and you got 5 teammates that were actually half decent. But that never happens. You end up getting 5 mouth-breathing little Timmies on your team that you have to carry and literally break your back every single time you play the game while you play 6 clones of yourself. That isn't fun, and the skill-based matchmaking doesn't even work properly. The argument I constantly see from the other side is you just want to beat on bad players. And that could not be farther from the truth. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I want a mixed organic experience. I want a lobby filled with random players. Some of those players could be bad. Some of those players could be amazing. Some of those players could be better than me. But the whole point I'm trying to make is that I don't want it to be like a ranked play experience or like I'm playing CDL champs every single single time I log on. I have a job. I work for a living. I don't want to come home and play like somebody has a gun to one of my parents' heads. It's just not fun. I don't want to be fighting for my life out here. So no, I don't want to beat up on bad players. But you know what happened to me back in the day when I played old school Call of Duty with a less egregious skill-based matchmaking algorithm? I got absolutely mollywopped. I got shit on. And you know what that did? That turned me into a 3 to 4 KD player. Even in modern Call of Duty, I have a 4 KD. A lot of people like to sit there and be like, well, if you're already doing well and you can get a 4 KD against players, you shouldn't be complaining. Why shouldn't I be complaining? I have to sweat so hard that I have maybe 2 or 3 matches in me and then I'm tapped out. Dunzo. I don't want to play the game anymore. So that isn't fun. And when I go to a game like X-Defiant, although I do have issues with X-Defiant and I don't think it's a perfect game by any means, I can actually sit there and use off-meta weapons and have a half-decent time because I'm not sweating my ass off every single game. So no, guys, no Call of Duty fanboys. I don't want to just sit here and beat on bad players. That argument doesn't make any sense. The third argument I see from Call of Duty fanboys when it pertains to my videos or just the discourse regarding Call of Duty in general is a lot of people, including myself, tend to think that the old COD games were just better. This is the argument we use. They had better gameplay systems. They had a classic prestige system. You had specialists. You had good perks. You had good maps. And now all of that is thrown out the window. You have stupid shit like Gunsmith that just overcomplicates the game for no reason. Everybody's just like, on the Call of Duty fanboy side, that is, they're just like, nostalgia. You're just stuck in the past. You need to get with the times and adapt. Let's reference back to the first point I made. I can adapt perfectly fine. I can play these new school COD games and do well. Guess what, buddy? I don't have fun because the design decision is dog shit. And I understand that's my opinion, like I've reiterated numerous times, but you gotta reiterate for the smooth brain Call of Duty fanboys. It's my opinion, it's subjective, you might think differently, but as an old school COD player, I don't like the direction the game is going in, and the old COD games were just more fun to me. And no, that's not just nostalgia glasses, that's not just me being stuck in the past. I can go back and play Plutonium, which you are seeing in the background right now, and have a absolutely phenomenal time. So that argument doesn't hold any weight. The fourth argument here, which is my personal favorite and probably gives you guys a little bit of insight on what it's like to be a content creator. And this is something that content creators see all the time, especially when you're critical of the game. And this is you making an argument regarding some of the things you don't like about the games. This could be anything. It could be skill-based matchmaking, the shop, the stupid bundles, everything they put in the game, the seasonal prestige system, for example. And you make these arguments, and the arguments in the comments just end up being a shit-slinging contest of fanboys saying all of the aforementioned things that I said, skill issues, stuck in the past, yada, yada, yada. And you try to engage with them in a respectful manner. You try and list out all of your points in a well-written paragraph for them. But apparently reading is hard. School is hard. We don't want to read. And one of the most common things I see, and I see this on Twitter, it might not even be a Call of Duty fanboy problem. It might just be a generational issue. But this whole, I ain't reading all that, bro, or I ain't reading all that, blood. I hate that shit. That shit drives me up a fucking wall. If you're going to tell me to explain myself in the comment section, and I do, I write a full-blown paragraph to you, and you don't want to read it, and that is somehow in your head the way you win the argument, you are automatically a motherfucking moron, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but if you write something to someone and explain everything that you have issues with, and you try and be as respectful as possible, and their reasoning is, I ain't reading all that, you've lost all credibility, in my opinion, and I'm not listening to what you have to say. Now, I should mention also that not everybody is like this in this community. I have had comments in the past where I say things about games I don't like, and people will leave comments where they start off kind of a little bit sarcastic or rude. Then I explain myself in a respectful manner, and they come back and actually do listen to what I have to say, and then give me my props and say, well, you're actually pretty responsible and, respectful. I actually, I could see from your side why you're frustrated, and we meet some common ground. So I want to make it perfectly clear here that I don't think every single person in the Call of Duty community is a full-blown idiot, but there is a lot of people, and the vast majority of the people that play today, especially the new age COD players, are just full of shit. They cannot argue to save their life. It's just the same skill issue stuck in the past. I ain't reading all that shit that you see on all of these comments. And as far as I'm concerned, you guys can go pound a fat load of sand. That's it for the rant today. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and turn that notification bell on so you never miss when I upload a video. And I'll catch everybody in the next one. Peace.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear. sometimes it could be a little tough.